Enterprise organizations and integrated group practices, or IGPs, have very specific requirements, as well as commonly needed capabilities when it comes to practice management automation. An example of a common need is Master Patient Index, or MPI architecture, to ensure identifying the correct patient in the system, and to eliminate the nightmare caused by having duplicates across what can be thousands, or perhaps tens of thousands of patient records. As for differences, IGPs, for example, typically operate under only one tax ID, even though there may be 40, 50, or more individual practices that comprise the IGP. Conversely, other groups or enterprise organizations may require multiple tax IDs, and multiple tax IDs could mean hundreds, and maybe more. But multiple tax ID entities should be easily maneuverable. In other words, users should be able to move fluidly between the entities to which they have authorized access, without having to constantly log out of one before logging into another. And if a patient becomes the patient of another provider within the organization who has a different tax ID, then that patient's information should be easily inserted into the new provider's tax ID entity. Going beyond tax ID entities, the organization may even want to completely segregate aspects of their operation into separate business segments. The system should provide that capability as well if needed. All of this and more is easily doable if the system is Medix Premier from ADS. Here's how. Off the bat, Medix Premier is built on MPI architecture. Accurate results are produced when searching for a particular patient across the enterprise, and Medix Premier's built-in ability to identify potential duplicates as new patients are entered, not once all their data is saved, is incredibly powerful and efficient. As for tax ID entities, they are secure and HIPAA compliant, protecting patients' data from being seen by unauthorized physicians or users. Yet they're amazingly maneuverable, because getting from one to another does not require constant logging in and out. And when a patient becomes the patient of another provider within the group, the patient's data is easily inserted into the other provider's entity without having to re-enter it. As for the organization being able to completely segregate segments of the practice, perhaps by location, or by groups of providers, Medix Premier directories are available, essentially acting as separate instances of Medix Premier within the same organization, and directories themselves can have unlimited tax IDs. What does Medix Premier do? It's a system rich in capabilities ranging from comprehensive EDI and ICD-10 claims, to dynamic individual and centralized scheduling, to reports and analytics, and more. Tens of millions of EDI transactions are processed annually through Medix Premier, which boasts a 99% success rate on first attempt clearinghouse claims. Medix Premier empowers organizations to capture every dollar for every patient, with features such as its own ICD-10 code converter, its built-in claims denial manager, and an ability to track claims in payers' queues in real time. It verifies eligibility in batch mode through the scheduler in advance of each patient's appointment, and has a built-in patient responsibility estimator. And if your organization also sells purchasable products, Medix Premier will calculate sales tax, track inventory, and handle gift cards and coupons, all as built-in features. Medix Premier can be deployed in cloud, ASP, or in customer-hosted configurations. It works seamlessly with our own Stage 2 certified Medix Doc Assistant EHR, or it can be integrated with existing EHRs, and Medix RCM is available to organizations that prefer to outsource their RCM needs. In fact, hundreds of RCM companies themselves rely on Medix Premier for their clients. Your enterprise organization or group shouldn't be held back by weak or even incompetent software. Contact ADS by calling 800-899-4237, extension 2264, or by emailing info@adsc.com. See how Medix Premier can provide the high-end enterprise capabilities and solutions you need, while empowering your organization to obtain every dollar from every patient. ADS, Advanced Technology, Simple Solutions.